Hi, I'm Alex and I'm very excited to be starting my ordained ministry at St Peter's and St James in Hereford, serving part-time alongside teaching at Whitecross. My journey of faith started when I was very young, and I've always looked for how God might be calling me to serve him. I spent 8 months in Uganda when I was 18, living with the local Anglican community, teaching in a village school, and visiting people in their homes across the hills. I learnt to trust God completely in situations where my own experience gave me nothing to rely on. When I returned home for university, I sought out opportunities to worship and learn with other Christian students, and spent summers volunteering in Glasgow, staying with families on some of the inner city estates, and working with addicts and homeless men and women. I'd always wanted to teach, and I felt a clear call from God to serve him amongst young people on the margins. Following this call meant 10 years in South East London comprehensives, where I loved working with teenagers from a huge range of faith and cultures. After a few years in Winchester, where our boys were born, we moved back to my home village in Herefordshire, St Mynors, and I threw myself into my career in education. It wasn't until I stepped down from my role as a head of English in 2020 and began leading church online twice a month, alongside part-time teaching, that I found myself, as I said to a friend, getting more excited about teaching the Bible than Shakespeare. I was leading a congregation, nurturing teenagers in their faith both in church and in youth groups, and getting young children actively involved in worship, but I still had no formal role or training, and that all started to feel a bit out of kilter. So I began to explore reader training and realised very quickly I felt a strong pull to be with people on their whole faith journey, from the start of life of faith in baptism, to marry people, to the end of this life. 3 years and a lot of essays later, I'm definitely more equipped for ministry, but I'm still as sure, 30 years on, that trusting God is the most important thing.